Hello, brave, beautiful warrior soul friends. Felicity here, with all my parts of consciousness spending time together. We are trying to describe the differences between normal life self, left brain presence, and parts of consciousness, right brain presence. Because my theory is kind of that the left brain is underdeveloped and the right brain is developed in fragments, and doesn't have like full conscious flow. And so exploring the experience of this, I'm hoping will provide insight into the cognitive specifics of parts of consciousness within my dissociative identity. And so yesterday was a really bad day. Today is a better day. So we're comparing today's normal life self experience with yesterday's dissociative experience. And kind of learning about ourselves slowly from there. Okay. So let's see if we can get to this part of our brain. I know we have to like go into like a little meditative state to just even access the information because of the dissociative amnesic barriers. Okay. So the example was checking messages on social media. That was the example. It was easy for us to mentally describe and pinpoint. So yesterday. Wait, no, there are sounds. It's scary. I want to have scary sounds. Okay. You hide. I'll talk. Try to talk. I guess we can have a little airflow here now. Okay. Got this. I got this. Okay. So yesterday, checking messages felt like it was a very scary experience. Kind of like opening a big, dark, scary, lurking, looming door, and you don't know what's going to be behind it, and the whole process of reaching for the doorknob is just like, this anxiety just swells and churns in your chest. It felt like that, but I was just clicking an app on my phone that I've clicked a million times before, no big deal, and I know there's going to be a little number, and I'm going to click it, and I'm going to read some comments from some people, and I'll have an option to respond. Like, I know that, and yet the whole process of doing this feels like I'm like reaching for a deep, dark, scary door, and I have no idea what's going to be behind it, and my entire body is in a state of anxiety. And so I'm kind of slowly learning that I need to just not be on social media when parts are fronting, because I'm in the brain as the normal life self, like wanting to engage, but because parts are fronting or present in the body, it's not just a normal experience of it, and I need to stop putting my parts through that. I realize, as tricky as that is. So now it's just a matter of like specifically identifying like, okay, parts are present and I shouldn't be doing this. You know, it's normally I think I'm fronting and then I'm not because I'm in the mind but not fully in the body. So we're like getting better at identifying that. So, okay. So it was scary. Oh, and then every step of the process was like this very extensive thing. Like I really had to think about it, and it was like, okay, let me think about this, okay, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then my hands kind of slowly do it. Whereas today it's this very automatic process. As soon as I think something, I'm doing it. I don't have to think about it and then fight to do it. They're not these separate things. There's a much better flow to the cognition that allows mental thought to become physical action. And then, oh yeah, the garden and the two, and then go, and then I can't go to the Venus place is gonna do, and then Venus is gonna do, and the place, and the Venus, yeah. That helps the littles release the anxiety that comes with their age regression and things. So, I know, I feel it right here. Okay, so, I'm going to happens. I know, my whole body feels like it's swimming and shaking after that. My whole body feels like it's swimming. That's one of the best ways I can describe age regression. It feels like my whole body's swimming. Or maybe coming back from age regression. I don't know what that specific feeling is within the transition of experience. Anyway, so I know, where was I? I love spending time with my parts, but it's really hard to have a singular train of thought, for sure. I gotta go. Be sorry, friend. I'm sorry I make it hard to think. Oh, that's what you were saying. There you go, friend. You're welcome. They have a better memory than I do, so they can help me remember sometimes when I can't. Anyway, so the whole cognition flow is very, very different. The whole thought process of who I am in response to these things, there's no thought to it when the normal life self Felicity, am fully fronting. Whereas when trauma parts are fronting, like yesterday, everything we read brings up these subconscious questions of who am I and who is this person and who am I in relation to this person. And parts go through this intensive process of like fighting to find an answer because the normal life self isn't around to give one. And so that's like a really intense difference. It's just little things cause like a dozen voices to chime in, whereas when the normal life self is fronting, that's not necessary. And so those little things become much easier to engage with. I know, left brain's a little shaky. Clearly, otherwise I would know which word I was trying to say. That's funny. I love noticing those little things. It helps bring me present to the experience instead of just dissociating from it. It's easy to dissociate from experience when living with a dissociative identity. My whole identity understands life through dissociation. And for the very first time, I'm teaching it that life is more than just dissociation. And that's really scary. But we're focusing on the positives so that that fear can slowly transition into some excitement. All part of the process. So, similarities and differences. So the whole process of engaging with social media, the whole process of opening apps, the whole process of reading things is different. I can feel it in my brain. I can feel it in my body. It feels like my brain is fighting really, really hard. It feels like my body is responding from a dysregulated position. And my whole sense of identity is dissolved. Completely dissolved. And reconstructed moment by moment depending on the circumstances. That's what it means to live with a dissociative identity. My sense of self has dissolved, and my ability to be a sense of self reconstructs on a subconscious level, moment to moment, as dissociative parts respond to the environment to help the brain cope because it's not fully engaging in external, objective, present moment, unconditional reality. That's what it means to live with a dissociative identity. I set a very specific goal a year and a half ago to define that for myself because I knew the normal life self would need that information. My parts knew that I would need that information in order to be here and do this healing. My parts knew that. I didn't know that. My parts knew that. Because parts have access to the subconscious, which is a whole nother language. It's a whole nother world. Life is a lot more magical than anyone has ever led us to believe. We're allowed to get excited about that. And yeah, it might feel like fear in the body, but that's only because we're still teaching our soul what it feels like to be excited. And that's allowed to be a process too. As infinite and expansive as our souls are, we are still human. We are still here in this finite, day by day, moment by moment, operating within linear time construct. And so our mental engagement can be beyond time. Our mental engagement can invite that infinite potentiality. But the healing journey itself is a moment by moment unfolding process. It's a journey. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing. Even the things that take months and months to unfold, they still have an ebb and a flow to them moving forward. That's life. Embracing the rhythms helps us embrace ourselves because we are filled with rhythms. We are filled with rhythms. Embracing the rhythms of life helps us accept and embrace who we are because we are filled with rhythms. We have an ebb and a flow to our days, to our emotions, to our seasons of the journey, everything, relationships, all of it. Even our tastes and interests will have ebbs and flows. Some days I'm passion-filled, some days I can't even imagine what it would be like to be filled with a passion. Ebbs and flows. Embracing that helps us love and accept ourselves for who we are. So when we're judging those rhythms and flows, like, why am I not passion-filled all the time? What's wrong with me? I'm clearly not a passion-filled woman. It's then that we create suffering unnecessarily. Retraining our consciousness to help us do that is what the healing journey is all about for me personally. So, differentiating normal life self and parts experience. The more I understand it, the more I understand what it means to live with a dissociative identity. The normal life self was developing, something traumatic happened. Two. I need two. Two to go. Two. Go. Go. Two. Go. Two. Go. Two. Go. Two. Go. Two. I think you're coming back. The more I differentiate parts, the more I comprehend my experience. I'm not back. We'll have to stop this video here. Have a beautiful and blessed day, my brave, beautiful warrior soul friends. I'm talking like this because this is subconscious communication, so I can use it even when I am not conscious.